Buckle up for another episode of Ghostfacers, a supernatural rewatch podcast. My name is Richard. Sitting shotgun as always is my brother in podcasting, Reed.
Priori incantatum.
Every rose has its thorn.
I'm trying to. If this spell works, you're gonna get so good at singing that song. That's the most important thing to me, right?
Every dawn has its dawn. Every rose has its thorn.
My power is unlimited. Let's get it.
Ghostfacers! We face a ghost, when others will not, we're ghosts! Ghostfacers! Stay in the kitchen when the kitchen gets hot! Ghostfacers! We face a nightmare, we face a dread! Ghostfacers! We face a faceless, we face a dead!
Welcome to Ghostfacers. Today we're discussing Season 3, Episode 9, Malleus Maleficarum.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, yeah. This episode aired January 31st, 2008.
Ooh.
Because the last one was December 13th, and then they took a bunch of time off because of Christmas.
Ugh, lazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I want an episode the 12 days leading up to Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh,
wait, that's not this podcast.
Nope. You listen to both.
Yeah.
This is your fault. This episode was written by Ben Edlund and directed by Robert Singer. Viewed by an estimated 2.95 estimated viewers. 2.5 million.
I mean, we're still in the 3 range. That's still pretty good.
That's true. And I mean, people are like, it's post Christmas. They're playing with the Pokemon. And
what year is this?
2008.
I think we're in the Pokemon lull in 2008.
Digimon?
There's no way people are playing Digimon in 2008.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
No.
Tamagotchi?
No. What?
I don't know what.
I think you're like 12 years off the...
I don't know what the kids were listening to and watching in 2008.
Jax. Tiddlywinks. What were they playing?
Hoop with a stick.
We were playing Fetch the Largest Goose from the Window.
Let's look at the promo that played for this episode.
Sure. That's fine.
It's just a lot of speaking like in tongues and nothing like.
But you don't even really see all that. But it's not a great promo.
It's not good. It's definitely confusing, and I don't understand it.
See why they're under 3.
Yes, absolutely.
3 million.
Yeah, I was
viewers.
like,
sorry, I was using industry talk and I said under 3.
I think that's probably made for.
Try and keep up.
Jeez, God, Mr. Hollywood, when did you show up?
It's me,
Mr. Hollywood.
Isn't that a Bill Hader character? The
president of Hollywood. Yeah. International titles.
Oh, okay, right. So this one is in Latin.
Yeah. So what's the translation in Latin?
Oh, well, Malleus and Maleficarum both have something to do with bad or evil. Maleficarum, it must be like something. A Maleficarum is also what they call like a spell or something, right? It's like an evil deed. So it's like bad deeds or evil doings or something like that. Or
at least from where I pulled it,
spells
it's witch hammer.
Witch hammer? Oh, like mallet?
Yeah.
Mallet comes from the same spot as... Oh, shit. Oh, that's crazy.
Witch hammer.
God, I hope one country called it witch hammer.
No, but we do get some good ones.
Witch hammer? You have to paint all the...
I'm going for the white witches of the West.
You would. Racist.
It's the best type of witch,
oh,
okay?
No. Oh, no.
The Hammer of Witches is actually a title of a book first published in 1486, which basically served as the Inquisitor's how-to manual of identifying and destroying witches during the Inquisition.
And they were so nuanced. They definitely needed a manual. They didn't just roll into town and go,
I don't like this woman.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
will pull out all your fingernails.
Yeah. Before it aired, this episode was initially titled Witch Hunt. It was also supposed to feature a demon framing a group of innocent women as witches to have them murdered, but the idea was dropped because it was too familiar to the plot of the previous season 3 episode Sin City.
Oh, sure. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The original concept for Witch Hunt was actually
That there weren't witches, but they were that's the original idea, basically, is that there weren't witches. A demon makes it look like there are witches.
Yeah. No, the actual original pitch was that it was a bunch of guys who just were complimenting women and were suddenly canceled.
Oh, no.
It was a fucking witch hunt.
Yeah, this episode's called Triggered.
Because these fucking snowflakes are too sensitive.
Jesus Christ. Special guest star, Joe Rogan. Good Lord.
All right, what are the other international titles? So we've got the German.
Evil women.
Yeah,
Are you laughing because I nailed it? 'Cause that's what the title
No,
is.
that's not why I'm laughing, because it's just the idea that they're like, well, we call all women this.
The German word for witch is just evil women.
Just yeah, all women we don't approve of. Basically, that's the idea.
Jesus Christ.
It's only one word, but what it translates apparently to, I thought was super interesting, is just witch magic.
Oh, what's the German word for witch? I assume the word for magic is like magic or something like that.
I don't know, because here's the thing: the word is like Hexenzauber.
Oh, okay.
So hex,
Hexenzauber?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Well, that's fun.
Brazil,
Brazil.
capoeira. So normally Brazil is the one who just like straight
Yeah.
up does it, but not this episode.
No, this time they called it sexy witch.
It's black art.
Oh.
Which-
Okay.
Yeah,
Careful, Brazil.
yeah. Walking a fucking thin line.
You're on notice, Brazil. About to be a witch hunt up in here.
You know who we're missing here, right?
Poland?
Hungary.
Oh, fuck. Hungary. Are they back, baby?
No.
Oh.
No.
Is this also called like witch hunt or like the witch hunt or something like that?
Fatal Witches.
Fatal witches.
Yeah, pretty tame for Hungary, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't worry, we've got one more.
France?
The French title.
French title is the French title is
This is a very French title. I'm super happy with this.
the dangerous neighborhood.
It's about the witches,
Okay.
the Sabbath's queens.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Bow, bow, bow,
The Sabbath's
bow, bow,
queens?
bow, bow.
Fuck.
Le
Man.
reine du Sabbat. Yeah, buddy.
Well, shit.
The Sabbath's queens.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
France.
I know. So fucking metal. I love it a lot.
That's tight as shit.
Yeah, it's really cool. I like it a lot. So some featured music from this episode. We got 2 songs. The first one is Every Rose Has Its Thorns.
Sometimes when I rewatch the episode,
Yeah.
I don't clock
Yeah.
the featured music, but this one I was like, I can't wait for that. I fucking love Every Rose Has Its Thorn.
Yeah. It's a great one.
Every night
Has
has
its
its
dawn.
dawn.
Every rose. Yeah, it's Poison.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah, Bret Michaels, baby.
And of course, you can't have a magic episode without having I put a spell on you.
Yes, yeah. Actually, aren't both of those in the same scene, or am I making that up?
Ooh, they might be. Yeah, because he's the guy's listening to Every Rose on
the
its Thorn,
radio,
and then it changes to I Put a Spell on You by Screaming Jay Hawkins.
Because you're mine.
So good. Oh, I love it. That's a great song in general.
Yeah.
But also like the world's spookiest song. I mean, it's made for magic.
Is it the spookiest song?
Well, in like a 1950s idea of spooky.
I don't. It's got such like a jaunty like beat. Doot 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 doot.
Yeah, it's 1950s. That's terrifying.
Right.
The people were throwing up when they first heard that song.
Do you know it is funny how like tastes change over time. I have a theater degree and I remember studying this play. It's a French play called Ubu Roi, and it's very like absurd, like kind of surreal, which was not what plays used to be.
Yeah.
And the first line of the play is merdre, which
shit.
Well, no, it translates to like someone coming out on stage and yelling shrit. So it's not technically saying shit, but definitely kind of saying it. And apparently, instantly, people rioted, like burned down the theater. They were like, no, that is not what a play is.
Oh my God. Yeah, unless Daniel Radcliffe's hanging dong, this is not theater.
Yeah.
I want to see that magic wand.
Yeah. Yeah, give me the... Oh, yeah, and he's older now. It's the elder one.
Yeah. I like that now that he's of age, it's the elder wand. Before it was just a wand.
Well, I mean, before it was problematic.
Yeah. It's barely legal wand before that.
Let's just say he's got the elder wand and I've got the erection stone. Gonna fool around under the cloak of invisibility.
There it is. Yeah. Wow. God. Any more?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess then we can't die. So that's how the Deathly Hallows work.
So you feel like you're never going to
have
die.
All three of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no.
Protects you from death.
The erection stone is the thing that protects you from death. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, technically, it's the thing that keeps you from die, but the cape is the thing that keeps you away from death.
Oh, it keeps death from finding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you have all three Hallows, you become the master of death.
We both have wives, and
we're very cool.
Yeah. I know. We better get out of here before there's a flood. TV Guide describes this. Yeah. TV Guide describes this as unrequited love becomes vengeful witchcraft, which in turn leads Sam and Dean to a coven of suburban witches whose black magic is drawn from a much more sinister source. Ooh. Wow, leaving a little bit of fucking like
a little mystery.
Yeah.
TV Guide.
What are you doing?
Coy.
Oh my God. TV Guide. What are we doing here?
Yeah, TV Guide is playing hard to get.
What's happening
the
here?
Plot of this show.
Are you feeling this, TV Guide? Is this just me?
Should we get out of here?
Yeah. Before we get
Have you ever said the words, should we get out of here, and have them work? It happened to me only once ever in my life.
I've never said it. I've been said to once.
I've said it once and it worked. And it was like, it felt like I performed magic.
You like bumped into like a delivery guy at like a bar.
Yeah. I was like, should we get out of here? He's like, yeah, I got more deliveries to do. And I was like, okay, I'll tag along.
Stop eating those deliveries. It's like taking the Christmas presents out of Santa's bag.
Delivering food to the bar, like prepared food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
we get all our nachos delivered.
Could you imagine? It's very inconvenient.
From a different, better bar.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be an interesting idea for a bar. That can only work in a really big city, but all of your food is just through like those takeout services.
Right.
So they'll make the order for you and have a setup so that you could eat the food there.
That sounds like the most insufferable hipster thing.
It must already exist.
It definitely exists.
Yeah. It's like in New York, you pay a premium to get them to order for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing.
I hate everything about that.
I love that. Let's go there. Before we talk about today's episode, why don't we get into Dad's journal and learn out some of the real world lore? No, stop looking at me like that. I said it in a way that it ends it.
You were very good about it this time. Yeah. Let's see what the lore says about witches.
Witches. It's not the first time we've done witches.
It is.
Is it the first time we've ever talked about witches?
This is the first time we've talked about witches.
Oh my God.
We've talked about like other witchy, ghouly things.
Oh,
like
but we've never talked about
Striga or stuff.
But this is the first witch.
Our first actual witch.
They're white witches. Well, not all of them, but I guess. But yeah, witches.
Yeah. So, witchcraft is, as a term, generally
witchcraft.
generally refers to practices and rituals that tap into or channel like supernatural abilities.
Oh yeah.
The idea of spiritual or magical practitioners is in almost every culture around the world. The word witch itself tends to like have the connotation of like malicious intent or evil or some other negative meaning, as opposed to people like healers or shaman or things like that. Like, by the definition of witch, they're also doing that, but like witch tends to mean like you're doing
black magic.
It's black magic. You're doing something unnatural or evil or whatever. In the Philippines, witches are considered to be like the opposition of like the sacred. So like that is like specifically implying something like unnatural or selfish in the use of power.
Sure.
Anthropologically speaking, witches are distinguished from sorcerers in that a sorcerer uses like tools to perform supernatural feats.
Oh.
Whereas witches derive their power from something within themselves. And that idea is itself from some African spiritual beliefs. So the idea is that like a sorcerer could be anyone, and if you get the like the magic staff or whatever, you can use magic. Whereas a witch might have like objects or things like that, but the magic comes from them.
So really powerful sorcerers are also witches, probably, because they already have magic and they get a tool.
Oh yes, yeah. A witch who then gains like a magical object. Yeah, exactly. The word witch might in fact come from the same Germanic root as words like wit and wise, meaning that witchcraft is craft of the wise.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. There's things like necromancy, demonology, stuff like that is tied to witchcraft. But the thing that is very specific about witchcraft is that it tends to generally revolve around the idea of spells and casting spells. So a spell is a bit of magic that achieves a very specific result, as opposed to just being generally like, you know, you're not just like seeing the future or, you know, reading portents or stuff like that. You're casting a spell to do a very specific action. So spells might be cast by incantation or a ritual act or using runes or sigils or like puppets or effigies, like things like voodoo. Puppet. Potions, of course. We think of witches and we think of potions. Yeah. So, let's talk about witch hunts.
Oh, God.
Baby.
Yeah, those fucking liberal cucks.
Jesus. So we already mentioned the Inquisition.
Yes.
Right? Going after witches. A lot of the idea of witchcraft is tied to, at least in the Western world, it's tied to Satan. It's tied to hell. It's tied to worship of the devil, that sort of thing. It's not obviously true in all cultures, but for our sort of Western conception of it, that's it. And obviously the Inquisition was really bad for torturing and killing just a bunch of random people by calling them witches.
Look, I'm Italian. It's part of our culture. Just fucking coming after us.
Jesus. God. Was that a
Cuomo thing?
Is that a Cuomo
reference? It's a Cuomo reference.
I'm not a witch. I'm Italian.
Yeah.
So specific and like 4 weeks behind.
That's right. You come to Ghostfacers for the top notch, right at the tip of the news, baby.
That's such an insane reference to make. That took me a second too. You know, the Salem witch trials. In
God,
Salem,
that talking cat. I love him.
Salem, Massachusetts.
Oh.
Massachusetts, where today's episode takes place. That's not an accident, I'm sure.
Oh, but yeah, not at all.
But belief in witchcraft continues to be present today, and in some societies, accusations of witchcraft are the trigger for serious forms of violence. Not necessarily like from a legal perspective, but just that people take it upon themselves to deal with witches through murder and things like that. It's definitely it's a violence against women sort of issue because it's very rare for men to be accused of witchcraft.
What do you mean? I don't understand. These were all just murders, and all these women were not. It's not about their misbehaving or subverting culture.
Apparently, in Tanzania, 500 older women are murdered each year following accusations of witchcraft. And since we were talking about the legal thing, in Saudi Arabia, it actually is a crime punishable by death to participate in witchcraft and sorcery.
Yeah, big surprise.
Yeah. But for those of us living in the West, like many things where it's an actual problem that affects people and ruins lives and ends lives elsewhere, over here it's been gentrified and we get like Wiccans. And it's a lot of this very kind of suburban sort of thing where it's like, oh, we'll burn herbs and say stuff in Latin.
Yes.
Like we're witches, like that kind of thing. There's a lot of that. Interest was intensified in 1954 by the claim that there was a form of witchcraft that still existed in England, and people kind of got interested in it as things sort of invaded pop culture, things like Buffy and Charmed and stuff like that. We see like the idea of witches as this very kind of like, I mean, it's almost in a way, I think, almost been claimed as like you could make the argument that it's like a wave of feminism. It's like claiming this thing that has traditionally been weaponized and used against women, and it's been kind of reclaimed as sort of like a metaphor for like seizing your own power and stuff like that. Like I don't think it's totally to be sneered at.
No, not at all.
Other than the thing that it's like there are people that like literally have to fear for their lives about witchcraft. Yes, and there's just like white women in Indiana being like, I'm a witch.
Yeah,
like,
I wear all black.
There's shit like that. The last thing I just wanted to mention is a couple of very like specific references, legal references to witchcraft. So the Code of Hammurabi is this very ancient Babylonian text that's the basis for a lot of Western law. And in the Code of Hammurabi, it talks about if a man has put a spell on another man and it is not justified, he upon whom the spell is laid shall go to the holy river, blah, 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 blah. But I love the idea about like, as long as he didn't have it coming.
Yeah.
I think that's very funny.
It's like, if it's a woman, if she even thinks about a spell, she's being punished. Yeah.
And then like, we've talked about like in Islam, like things about sort of sorcery and magic use are specifically referenced in there is kind of interesting. But yeah, that's a very kind of broad general thing about witches. It will not be the last time we talk about witches.
On Supernatural?
On Supernatural.
Wow.
I know it's taken until season 3.
I know.
It won't be the last time.
Absolutely. Well, you mentioned Charmed as part of your discussion about witches. Before we actually talk about the episode, I've got a little bit of background information.
Sure. is
this episode is widely been regarded as a spoof of the TV show Charmed, which shared some similarities to Supernatural in the sense that both featured siblings battling paranormal forces of evil. The witches in this episode have a book of shadows, just like the Charmed ones.
Right.
Also, the German dub of this episode even features the witches being voiced by the same voice actresses who voiced Charmed.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. I like that.
Yeah. So, fun little piece.
And they have a very kind of like the aesthetic of the women in the coven. It does look visually very much like Charmed.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah. Interesting.
So the then is really pretty simple. It's just images of the Colt and Dean sort of being faced with his
Dean. Oh, I'm gonna die. Yeah, well, I don't care if I live.
Yeah, I don't care if I die. So that's basically it.
Yeah,
and a gun. Now. So we begin with, after arriving home from a party, a woman, Janet Dutton, starts brushing her teeth only to then have them suddenly start falling out.
We have skipped so much already.
I mean, there's not much to talk about.
I disagree. They come home and they're being flirty, her and her husband.
Sure.
And she's like, this was a boring party. And he was like, there was a real hot piece of ass at that party. And she's like, you should have gone home with her. And he was like, I did. And you're like, oh, dog, you did it.
You dirty dog.
You did it. And she's like, I need a couple of minutes to get ready. And he goes, there's a bottle of 89. Wait, he knows the year of the wine, baby.
That's pretty hot.
Oh, ladies, line up.
I will say, this woman looks incredible.
Yeah.
Like, I think I had to pick my job off the floor. Yeah.
Yeah.
She looks incredible.
Yeah.
But she goes to the bathroom. Yeah, she starts
She
like
loses all those goddamn teeth.
yeah. No thank unless
she's brushing her teeth, and she kind of wiggles one. And are we cutting back and forth here? Do we get like
yes
the incantation? We hear like someone reciting something, and
yes.
And there's like a toothbrush
Yep.
laid out, and they're like dripping blood and stuff onto it. And as that's happening, she pulls one tooth out, and she's like, "That's concerning."
yeah.
But she's like, "That's bad." But I'm rich. I got health insurance. Throw the tooth away, and then she pulls out another one. Then she gets suitably freaked out.
Yes.
She screams for her husband. He comes to try and.
But he can't get in.
But the door closes and locks, and she is spitting up teeth and choking on blood and choking on her teeth, I'm assuming, which is horrible.
Yep.
And by the time the ritual is done and we hear that stop, the door unlocks itself and opens, and the husband just sees her, and she's dead on the ground.
Yes. There was a simple mistake in this.
Okay.
So she starts brushing her toothbrush with a red toothbrush. And then when you when you see the toothbrush on the thing with the blood on it, it's a blue toothbrush.
But I don't think that's a mistake. It's not her toothbrush.
No, but she was using the red one and then puts it down.
You're not talking about the toothbrush in the ritual. You're talking
I'm talking about the one in the scene.
Oh, I didn't clock that at all.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Anyways.
Oh, interesting.
So posing as investigators the next day from the Center of Disease Control.
Yeah, CDC investigators. Like, this guy's already answered cops' questions, and now he's like, was there a biological attack on my wife?
Yes. Sam and Dean interview Paul and search the house. Their agent names are Bachman and Turner, referring to the band Bachman Turner Overdrive.
Yeah. Get to the work and overtime part.
Yeah. I love that. So Dean is suspecting that Paul is lying about something, and Sam finds a hex bag hidden in the bathroom, indicating that a witch was involved.
Yeah, so the hex bag, this is one of those things that it's like a sort of ritual piece. It's got like rabbit teeth and bones and, something of the woman's and stuff like that. I think the fabric is supposed to be something that the woman owns, right? The fabric of the bag. And it's one of these things that helps like channel the magic, right? So the hex bag was in the bathroom. They were doing the ritual with the toothbrush, and that's like the conduit that connects the two things.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And the guys know right away what this is. This isn't like a monster they've not encountered or a thing they've not encountered before.
No.
Right away, Dean is like, fuck, I hate witches.
Yeah, I love his very much hate, because they talk about, they're not monsters. They're just fucking humans doing bad shit and involving themselves in like monster shit.
And playing with forces they don't understand.
Yeah. So I really like that. And he's just like, he very clearly talks about the whole episode about how he's just like, he fucking hates them, because he's just like, monsters I can understand. He's like, people? Why are people doing bad shit to other people? Like, which I really like. So we go to the next day, and a woman, Amanda Burns, comes home, and her neighbor is doing gardening outside, and basically starts complaining to her that Amanda didn't show up at book club.
Yeah, I mean, it already has such like a Stepford Wives kind of thing, where it's like, you weren't at book club, and she's like, I'm fine.
And they're just like, oh, weird, like what? But like also that like passive aggressive niceness.
Yeah, but also just the idea it's like the biggest affront you could use not to show up for book club.
Yeah,
like everything about it creeps me out.
It's very funny. So Amanda walks into her house, and she pulls out this like decaying roasted like turkey
it's
or
like
chicken.
A roast turkey dinner, but like maggots are eating it. And she pulls it out of the fridge.
It's disgusting.
And
they then cut to later that night.
Yeah,
Paul Dutton, the husband of the woman that had just passed in the beginning of the
guy who
episode,
knows what year the wine is, baby.
Also loves fast food. He's your man.
You know, you get you a man who can do both.
He's eating
It'd be funny if he had the bottle of wine in the car too.
that'd be incredible. He's like, look, I know good wine. I'm not a fucking Philistine though. Like,
yeah.
So he's eating this burger inside of his car, listening to some great music.
Listening to Every Rose Has Its Thorn, which I love to imagine was like their first dance. Or
Oh
something.
yeah,
Him and his late wife now.
yeah.
Every rose has its teeth.
Every teeth has its teeth.
That would have been amazing if the song changed to just be about teeth.
Every teeth.
I mean, it's a slightly odd scene
Yeah.
because his wife is dead.
Yes.
He's obviously shifty about something.
Yes.
He's also clearly sad.
Yeah.
He's eating a burger in his car, like he's not at home, and he's just listening to this song that is in that 80s way, both like too earnest and also maybe not earnest enough.
Yes.
Where it's like, it's almost funny.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
the scene is just this guy who previously was talking about the year of the wine. He's just eating a burger. Every rose has its thorn.
Oh,
And he's not fully crying. He's just sort of like middle distance staring. I don't know if it's like a problem with the actor or just weird direction for the scene or something.
Yeah.
But like something about the scene is, I feel like he should either be more sad or care way less.
Yes.
He's in a weird middle ground where I'm like, do you know they're rolling?
I was just in between scenes. I needed to get a bite to eat.
It looks like he's thinking about shit he has to do today.
Yes.
Like the actor.
Yes. And then we're cutting in between someone doing an incantation. Of course, this is Amanda from the scene
Yeah,
before.
with the fucking maggot roast.
Yeah. She starts doing the spell, and suddenly the burger inside the car gets like infested with.
And he doesn't notice for so long.
I fucking hate this type of shit. It's the reason why I can't watch. Oh god, what's that witch movie that everybody likes with? There's a really bad bug scene with there's three girls in high school doing magic.
Oh,
it's a really famous movie. I can't for the life of me think of it.
Oh,
right now.
wait, like Ginger Snaps?
No, not that one. There's another one though. They ended up making a sequel to it at some point, but it's so I know everybody's
but
screaming
just
at me
more
right
like
now.
more bug.
Yeah, I
food
can't.
thing, yeah.
I can't deal with bugs.
I agree.
I can't even watch this scene.
It's gross.
I've seen it once, and I will never watch it again. I basically just divert my eyes whenever it comes on.
It's very gross.
But he is saved when Sam and Dean suddenly
he starts
arrive.
choking on maggots. Kind of the way his wife was choking on teeth.
Yep. I'd rather the teeth. And they suddenly arrive, pull him out of his car, and
Sam finds the hex bag and burns it, and then we see the whole roast go up in flames on Amanda's side. And the guy was like, what's happening? And Dean's like, we were following you. We saved your life. You better tell me what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
And the guy is like, fine, not everybody liked my wife. I kind of cheated on her with a crazy bitch.
Yes.
Is basically what he says.
Yeah,
here.
but she fucked so good, I'm on top of it.
Oh, I forgot that song.
Yeah. What an awful song.
Yeah, the more I think about it.
Yeah, it's a really bad song.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is not fully related.
Yeah.
But just thinking of bad songs and stuff. Did you say
What?
It was not only recently the 20th anniversary of 9/11. It was also the 20th anniversary of the release of How You Remind Me by Nickelback.
Oh my God.
And there were a couple of news agencies that tried to conflate them. Tried to
Oh
say,
my
like,
God.
this song helped people grieve.
Oh,
and
no.
And maybe it did, but like, it's just like, maybe just let 9/11 be its own thing.
Yeah. Jesus. Wait, are you going to end up on the podcast on Pop Capsule?
No.
Oh.
I was kept away.
Kept away?
I was kept away from the September 11th episode.
I don't understand why. You would have brought nothing but like...
I was campaigning for months.
Yeah. I think you would have brought nothing but
be
levity.
on the episode where I had to be like, good luck. having a comedy episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jesus. So the spell unexpectedly ends. Amanda starts panicking before, and like there's like wind running through, and like her book suddenly starts going through and she starts flipping through the book trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
There are some texts that are in Irish. If you look at the book pages, a lot of it seems to be taken from the Irish translation of the Christian's Lord's Prayer, although the wording has been altered quite a bit in some of the lines. Examples are Arne ather ata ar du riok, our Father who art in kingdom, and Axor sin oak, which but deliver us from evil. That's the translation.
God, I hope we didn't alienate all of our Irish-speaking listeners.
Specifically Celtic language folk. Yeah.
Yeah, Irish.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not everybody speaks like the Celtic language anymore.
Well, but Irish is its own language.
Is it? I thought
there
it was...
are multiple Celtic languages.
Oh.
I lived in a place in France where a bunch of people speak Breton.
Really?
Breton, Cornish, Welsh, Irish, those are all Celtic languages.
Weird.
Scots-Irish.
Really?
Yeah, those are all different Celtic languages. Gaelic, of course.
Weird. Yeah. What the fuck? I didn't come here to learn.
Oh, so sorry. Let's see what the lore says about Gaelic.
Oh, never mind. I'm here. But as she's panicking, a mysterious force then suddenly slashes her wrists, causing her to bleed to death.
Yeah.
It's fucking... It's a really great effect.
It's a very, very good effect, and she's sort of screaming, and she just sort of dies on her coffee table.
So Sam and Dean now realize that somebody is coming after both of them, and so they...
so Sam and Dean end up at that house because Paul was like, I did it!
I fucked this girl, and this is who she is.
Yeah.
And so they go there.
This is where she lives.
Yes.
Immediately.
Yes.
Like, I'll just put her in danger now.
So they find her dead in her home.
Doesn't it make you sad that his awesome wife just died for his shit?
Yeah, and she was so hot.
Yes, yeah.
That's not fair.
And probably had a rich inner life as well.
Yeah, sure. Most importantly, so hot.
God, just wait till we get to the next episode.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know.
Thoughts.
I know. Trust me. I know. Fucking Sam. Sam gets that? I know.
I can't.
Okay.
I can't.
So they find her dead, and she's surrounded by paraphernalia of witchcraft. Elsewhere in town, we see three of Amanda's neighbors, Tammy Fenton, Elizabeth Higgins, and Renee Van Allen. And they're meeting under the guise of a book club.
Yeah, like the husband, husband's
God.
like putting his coat on. He's like, don't you think...
I know what's going on here.
I know it's not a book club. You're just dishing and gossip. And they go like, bye, George, or whatever the fuck his name is. And he goes, all right, you can at least pretend to bring a book.
Yeah, when was the last time I actually saw a book at this thing?
And then they're like, we only have an hour before he gets back from fantasy football. It's the most sort of suburban shit.
It's so funny.
It's very funny.
So
it's very well played. Like, you're both kind of going like, ugh, these people, but it's it does play like the sinister side of like the quiet suburban thing very well.
Yeah.
That it's like, yeah, everything looks nice, but like people are still people just because you live somewhere nice.
And if anything, you've got more to lose now, so people are even shittier.
Yeah. They do play it very, very well.
Yeah. But it soon does become apparent as the husband leaves that they are practicing witchcraft. They argue about...
They immediately take out this very like elaborate candelabra that was just behind the couch, and he was like, oh, the book club candle. Yeah. You want him to be like, are you going to bring out the book club candelabra?
Yeah. Yeah, he's setting the mood. I get it. You girls.
I'll be back.
Yeah. They start arguing about how the book club has gone too far. People are now starting to die.
This is my favorite part. They keep calling it book club.
I know.
Even when no one else is like, book club isn't there out in public code for it.
Yeah.
They just themselves go like, we need to stop book club. Not, we need to stop practicing witchcraft.
No.
We need to stop book club.
Yeah, book club's the problem. Books are the issue.
It feels like the network was like, we can't say witchcraft this much in the episode.
Yeah.
And they're like, we'll call it book club.
They're like, yeah, sure, that works. God, I just can't. I can't stop going out into the mountains with you once a year and having book club.
Yeah, book club mountain.
I can't quit you, book club.
Yippee-ki-yay, make a sandwich. It's like a TBS dub. Yeah.
Is that really the thing that they say?
I can't remember if it was TBS or somewhere else. I've legitimately watched a dub of Die Hard where they cover the word motherfucker with make a sandwich. Yeah.
Which somehow feels worse.
There's another one where it's Mr. Falcon. It's like, Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon. And then there's one where
Is
it's
there a Mr.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Falcon in it?
No. And then there's a Yippee-ki-yay, make a sandwich.
That feels worse. That
It's
feels
just dumber.
But that feels like maybe worse than motherfucker. Make a sandwich. So they also discussed how they've, in spite of the bad stuff that's happened, they've gained advances in their husbands' careers. They've gone on vacations.
They've gained so much. I keep winning at the craft fair.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
my ceramic company is doing so much better.
This is the other thing. Like, yeah, I mean, they are doing better. They're making more money and stuff. Like, legitimate, motivations for evil. But it's the banality of it, and that's always the creepy shit in the suburbs. It's the thing in, like, Hot Fuzz, even. And the movies, like, play off it where it's just like, we must win the Garden Award.
Yeah.
It's like you're doing this for that? It's like, God, Jesus. You needed so little push towards evil.
Yeah, it's and it comes up
it's
even
that Sin City thing. I mean, it was probably why they were like, these episodes can be very close together.
Yeah, we got to make sure that there's some differences between them. But it's interesting.
Crazy shit.
Because and we'll talk about it in a few minutes, but like it gets even more banal. Like the things that they're fighting for are so like ludicrously like simple things that just try harder and you could get them. Like
it's so, I mean, when you think about it, maybe in the context of the episode, it doesn't feel that scary, but when you think about it, you're like, God, they did that for this. Imagine if they had something they actually had to fight for.
I know.
Like, these people would be
monsters.
like, full monsters. Yeah.
So the next day, Sam and Dean interview the women. And while they don't learn much...
Well, they try and just talk to the one, Elizabeth. And, like, immediately confrontational. Sam's like, oh, you must have a real green thumb. She's like, what? And he's like, you got all of this to grow out of season. You think I don't know my herbs?
Yeah. Oh, my God,
and
Sam.
she's like, instead of just coming in and, like, asking questions, he's so confrontational right away. And then the other two kind of come over, and the one's like, my name is Renee Van Allen.
Yes.
Want me to write it down for you?
Can I just tell you something?
Yeah.
I'm kind of into that.
It's like that TikTok you sent me.
Yeah. You mean like an aggressive woman who like is confrontational? I think I'm thinking I'm back.
You're the Beta Yaga.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Holy shit. I'm going to put that on my fucking tombstone.
Yeah, I'm thinking of it. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Like pin straight hair and like a lot of attitude. Yeah.
Yeah, John Cuck.
Yeah. 100%. Very into this. They don't learn a lot, but research shows that a couple of the women have lately had a run of success and windfalls. And they specifically say, oh, yeah, they've gone up a couple tax brackets.
Well, yeah, and Sam says she's won too many raffles or something like that. But again, it's the like, in a way, it's almost smart. It's like laundering money. It's like they didn't win the lot. They won a bunch of small things.
Totally.
It's just very funny. Yeah.
Sam suggests that they're going to have to kill the women as they are using dark magic. And Dean's just like, what the fuck?
Sam right away is just like, well, we got to kill them. And Dean's like, they're people. And he's like, they're hurting people. So
I'm like, why are you being like this? And he's just like, look, like, this is what we got to do.
Dean kind of gives like a shrug and was like, oh, burn witch burn.
Yeah. As they head back to their motel, the Impala is stopped when Ruby appears on the road.
Yeah.
Oh shit. She tells them that a demon is in town controlling witches and that the demon will come after Sam.
Yeah, this is a decently tense scene.
Yeah.
She's saying like, you guys got to get out of town. This demon is like out of your league. Get out of here. And Dean's like, so you're Ruby, like pulls the Colt. He's like, what the fuck are you telling my brother? All this kind of shit.
Yeah, they have a huge argument.
It's very, very tense. And Dean basically goes to shoot Ruby, and only Sam kind of intervening makes him miss.
And she disappears.
Yeah.
It's crazy. At the motel, Dean questions Sam as to why he is no longer concerned over taking a human life. Because he's like, you were just willing to do that. Now you're pushing me out of the way from killing Ruby. Like,
you're saving demons.
Who are you becoming, right? And he admits that he is trying to be more like Dean to prepare for basically having to deal with this demon war after Dean is gone.
Yes.
He's like, you're going to die. I need to be more like you so that I can like be cold enough to kill shit. Like,
which is also sort of like a slam on Dean.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
I need to be a piece of shit, like you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically it, right? And but then suddenly Dean starts feeling intense pain and starts vomiting blood.
Yeah. So Sam starts searching for a hex bag. He's
Yeah.
like, oh shit, like this is definitely a witch. He can't find the hex bag, so he grabs the Colt and drives.
He's like, it's got to be those fucking coven.
And he breaks into like these women's like book club.
Yes.
Sam ruins book club.
Yeah. God, that's what they were doing, reading books at book club.
And he's pointing the gun. It stops their incantation, and they're like, "What? And like, we don't know who your brother is. We're not hurting your brother."
When they find out, when we find out what they were doing, they literally they confess to, we were just trying to get this one girl's interest rate on her mortgage lowered.
I know. It's like, we don't have to address any sort of actual societal problems.
Yeah,
those
no,
things
no.
are fine. I
Yeah.
could just use a better deal.
Yeah. I had to step over a homeless person to get to the book club this week. Ugh.
Yeah. Let's use our magic to house him.
No, to help our housing issues.
To just make him disappear.
Yeah. We back at the motel. Ruby suddenly arrives.
Yes.
And doses Dean with a potion that
she
saves
pours
him.
a bunch of fucking orc drink down Dean's throat. Looks like someone can't take his medicine.
Looks like medicine's on the menu.
It's the shit they pour down Mary's throat. It's the exact same weird black liquid.
Weird.
Yeah. It's even in like a fucking skin.
Yeah.
Like,
it is. They probably took it from the scene.
Why doesn't she have like a Nalgene or something? Why is it in a skin? That's how you know it's magic.
Yeah.
It's in the skin of something.
Ooh. Sam tries to shoot Tammy with the Colt, but she stops the bullet midair.
Yeah,
because Sam just fully is just like, nope, it's one of you.
Well, because he goes like, he starts realizing something's hinky.
Yeah.
But then he goes, the only person who's not benefiting from this is Tammy.
Yeah.
And Ruby told me earlier that
there was a demon.
That there's a demon in town, and that is where the witches are drawing power from. So I'm thinking it's you.
And just fucking
Tammy
shoots her.
Kind of acts for a bit, and then she goes like, it's me, black eyes.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
She stops the bullet midair and then uses her power to pin Sam to the wall. Oh, yeah.
And like push him into the wall.
Yeah.
Like the drywall like cracks and shit behind him. Pretty good effects, actually.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah. We know.
I know. I'm thinking I'm back.
Yeah, here at the Domtinental Hotel.
I knew you had another one in there. She tells him that a new leader has arisen to lead the demons because she's just like, he's like, yeah, okay, I'm supposed to lead, and she's like, you're not the fucking leader anymore. We've got it. There's somebody new rising in the ranks, and
and she doesn't want the competition.
Yeah,
or they don't want the competition.
Yeah, they want Sam eliminated.
Yeah,
Dina arrives, but is also attacked by Tammy.
Dean arriving is a legitimate moment of slapstick comedy in this episode. Dean runs in through the door with the sawed-off shotgun. She flicks her hand. He trips, spins around, hits a couch tips over, and goes like, whoa. Like, it's like 3 seconds. It's so fucking funny. I rewatched it like 4 times. It's perfect. It's so good.
That's very
because he's so intense, and then it's
immediately.
It's so funny.
Yeah. When Ruby appears suddenly, she pretends she has led the Winchesters to Tammy in order to gain her favor.
Oh yeah, and Supernatural knows what we're here for. We're like kiss. Do
they?
Almost, but that's the whole.
No, I mean, do you think that's what they want? I mean, I guess they were like
As an audience,
Oh,
you
yeah.
think the supernatural audience doesn't
No,
want
no, no.
to
I
see
meant
hot people
more.
kissing?
Is the show trying to make us feel that way, or like leaning into that? And I was like, well, they are, because she's just like, I like wanted to be back with you or something.
I want to serve you.
Yeah. I guess that's true.
Two like incredibly attractive women just dead staring into each other's eyes.
Fair, yes.
And Ruby says you're learning like Ruby used to work for this demon or serve this demon or whatever. Ruby tries to stab her with the demon knife. That shit doesn't work.
No. They get into a huge fight and reveals that Ruby was once a witch who sold her soul to the demon.
Yeah,
Tammy.
so this is this demon's shtick.
Yeah.
Is to like
go after
fucking
witches.
Con witches, basically. Yeah. And the reveal here is that Ruby was once human.
Yeah. Huge reveal.
Huge little lore reveal here in the
Yeah.
episode that
Absolutely.
we haven't had before.
Yeah, absolutely. Just as Tammy is about to kill Ruby, Elizabeth sort of ducks into the other room and starts a spell.
Yeah.
And you can see Tammy starting to like choke on something.
Well, because Tammy is starting to exorcise Ruby.
Yeah.
Which you're still saying the word, wouldn't it exercise?
Do you too?
I'm sure they thought of it. I had that question in my head. Briefly.
Yes, me too.
But yeah, we've skipped a couple of things here. When Tammy does her heel turn and reveals that she's a demon, Renee, the bossy one, goes like, "You can't do this in my house." She just fully snaps her neck.
Yeah.
Just turns her neck around. It's amazing. So there's only Elizabeth, the sort of skittish green thumb gardener left.
Yes.
Yeah, so she's doing some incantation with like pins and that. And Tammy has to stop exercising Ruby because she's now choking on the pins. These witches only learned how to do a spell that makes you choke on the thing.
Yes.
So it's either maggots or it's your teeth or
they have one good
that's
spell.
the only thing they can do.
Yeah.
And apparently alter mortgage rates.
Yeah.
You know, the two fundamentals of witchcraft. Choking on shit and like a better return on investment.
I mean, I'm into it. Choking money? Yeah, I'm all right.
Oh, financial domination.
Oh, yeah, there's two types. I'm okay with that. Yeah, eBay's been financially dominating me lately.
I'm never not going to think of you as the Beta Yaga.
It is great. I'm okay with that. As soon as she starts choking on those pins, she immediately is like, oh, someone's doing a fucking spell on me. One of those dumb girls.
And she just like Darth Vader like crushes her hand. And I think she like crushes Elizabeth's heart.
But like the bones around it, because there's crunching noises too.
Yeah. And she just like crushes her.
Yeah,
basically.
from the inside.
Yeah.
It's an insane
Elizabeth's
thing.
dead.
Instantly falls over dead.
Crazy shit.
But she's been distracted long enough that for Dean to grab Ruby's knife and fucking kill her.
And Dean doesn't just sneak up behind her and stab her. He fucking like prison stabs
Just
her. Like 30 stabs in the back.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Yeah, Ruby tells them to get out of there. She says, "I'll deal with this." I don't know what that means.
Me either. Yeah, she calls the fucking MIB. Like, I don't...
Or why she has to.
Yeah,
just be like, just leave, and this guy will just forever not know what happened at book club.
Well, I mean, Nova ended very... Could you imagine that guy coming home that night and be like,
"Honey, you'll never guess who I drafted."
I hope you ladies didn't get too crazy.
His wife's head turned around. Like fucking...
Oh, no. That guy's immediately going to jail.
They were reading... What were they reading? Outlander.
Now that makes sense. This makes sense.
But this is his origin story, like John Winchester. But he was like, "I will burn every copy of Outlander."
Yeah.
And he just misses the point. Instead of becoming a great hunter, he just starts burning books.
This is how all of those like super alt-right people become like book burners.
It started with my wife reading books, and then her and her friends were all brutally murdered by whatever novel they were talking about. Yeah. I won't rest until every book is paid for this crime.
Yeah, books snap people's necks and stab each other.
Become some sort of library serial killer.
Oh my god, everything is done through like a series of like the like cataloging and
he's committing his murders by the Dewey Decimal System.
Time for you to check out.
More like the Dewey Decimal System.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Time for you to check.
looks like you got a book, Mark.
Oh no. Yeah, we should follow up Pup with this character a few years down the line.
Yeah. See how he's doing, the library killer. So later that night, Ruby visits Dean, and they have a conversation, and she basically admits to Dean that she actually can't save him from hell.
Yeah.
Like, she's just been lying to Sam.
Yeah, they're out in the parking lot of the motel.
Yeah.
Talking.
She tells him that all demons actually were once human.
Yeah,
which is a huge reveal.
Dean asks every single demon was a human at one point, because she says that she was human back when the plague was big.
Yeah.
So we get an idea of how old Ruby is.
Yeah.
And then she says every demon I've ever met.
Yeah.
And so again, it's like what was it, Roadkill? The episode where it's like, what happens to ghosts when you banish them? And they're like,
something.
Don't know.
Yeah.
But we definitely banish them.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And now Dean is like, because Dean is the one that's made this whole stink about, like, we don't kill people.
Yeah.
And now he's found out that every single demon is a person.
Yeah. So you do kill people. Well, you at least kill their souls. Yeah.
Yeah. And she talks about, it's a good bit. She talks about, like, that's what hell is. You forget who you are. Hell strips your humanity from you, and she's like, it will happen to you.
Yeah.
When you go to hell, it's not just you being tortured. She's like, you'll hang on maybe for centuries, but eventually you'll become
no way to stop.
You'll become a demon too.
There's no way to stop this from happening to you, and there's no way to stop you from going to hell.
Yeah. It's heavy.
Yeah. And she says she wants to help prepare Sam to fight the demons after Dean is gone.
Yeah. Yeah. She's like, I need your help to make him not so goddamn soft. You can't be such a liberal snowflake.
Ruby also says she retains a memory of what it was to be human. That's why she wants to fight on the side of humanity.
Yeah, she says, I don't know why I'm different. I kind of wish I wasn't.
Yeah,
but I still remember. Yeah.
And that's the end of the episode.
Crazy.
Wow.
Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, every time I think about this episode, I'm like, this isn't a good episode. And then I'll watch it and I'll be like, no, this is a great episode. I like this one. Like, I think like the concept is maybe slightly boring, but then in practice, they actually do a really good job. I think it's well written. I like the sort of like Valley of the Dolls, like fucking Stepford Wives sort of thing about this all. I like a bunch of powerful women fucking wielding magic.
Listen, you have this episode. I've got the next one.
I've got that one too. Don't worry. You're not alone, my friend. So I think that it's
that was I mean, we'll talk about it next episode, but that was exactly when my wife walked downstairs. She never walks in when they're fighting or doing something bad. She always walks in when it's just like
can you go upstairs and put on a trench coat for me?
Oh god. Oh.
So back to this episode. So
sorry, I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great introduction to witches. Yeah. I think they don't stumble on this episode at all. It's pretty straightforward. It makes a lot of sense. Some gross shit, some scary shit. They still are making demons feel really threatening, which is I think is important.
Yeah.
Now you're bringing in a bunch of new lore in an episode that seemingly doesn't have any. Actually, has a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's almost like a sort of secret lore episode where you're just like, oh, it's witches this week. And then you're like, oh, I actually need this information.
Yeah, because you find out that all the demons were once human. You find out that there's a new demon who's basically trying to stay wants to become in charge.
Because so far this season has sort of been about the pandemonium of the power vacuum now that Azazel is
and
gone.
Now you're finding
that plan has been derailed. Sam is not leading a demon army. Azazel is dead.
Yeah.
And it's just been pandemonium. It's just been like, there's too many demons.
Yeah.
And now we're getting this like, oh no.
One of them.
The next thing is happening.
Yeah, one of them is slowly rising to the top.
Yeah, like consolidating power.
Yeah. So it's... Yeah, I think I I like this episode because, you get a lot of sort of like secret lore that is important. You get some really great action in it.
Yeah.
There's a bit of funniness in it. I think that I'm getting to the end of my like rope for Dean's like self-hatred.
Yeah.
Which is important, I think. And I like the. I like this. The stakes of this episode are not super high, which is good because I think you need some of those sort of in between. But there is sort of this element of this bigger overarching thing, right? It's like a great episode of X-Files. It's like, aliens are out there, but like more importantly, we've got like a neighborhood mud monster thing. So
yeah.
This is actually a really like great like straight down the line episode. So
Totally.
I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 maggot burgers.
Ooh. Yeah, it's funny because it ends up being an episode just more about demons and demon lore and things like that under the guise of the witch.
Yeah.
I do think it's a nice intro to witches. We're not like way in over our heads. Where it's not some like cackly in the woods.
No, it's like, a fucking bunch of Karens. Like
it's like riffing on this very kind of this thing that is both very easy to make fun of, a very sort of gentrified version of spirituality, but that is also maybe in a way its own version of kind of feminist thing.
Yeah, it balances sort of the like people who are gentrified and have too much money just like only thinking about themselves. They do that at the same time as like giving these women like power and not making them look like weak. Like,
yeah.
I like that it very clearly like
how come men are the only like Machiavellian ones that cheat to get ahead or something like that. It's not maybe not like the final frontier of feminism, but I kind of like the idea that they're just like, no, these women like have it under control. Their husbands are fucking rubes.
Yeah, that's the dream.
I dig that shit.
To be a rube with a powerful woman, that's all you ever want.
I mean, that's
we both have. Yeah,
we're there.
It's great.
This is our fantasy football. Us recording this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck. I don't want to go downstairs.
No, not right now.
Yeah.
What if they're reading Outlander?
Yeah.
I like that. I think the performances are really good. I do like that it's riffing on the Charmed thing.
Mm-hmm.
The demon lore reveal hits because it kind of comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Where you're like, just like in the middle of this thing happens, and then you start thinking about it, and because they've had this conversation about how do we even deal with witches? They're people.
Yeah.
That's kind of our line.
Yeah.
But I really, really enjoy it. I don't necessarily think it's perfect. There's a couple of weird moments, like Paul in the car is a weird moment.
Sure, yeah.
The Dean slapstick entrance is amazing, but like also
kind of undercuts the tension.
Although maybe that's kind of genius in its own way.
Yeah.
I actually don't think I dislike that.
Yeah.
But there's it's not a perfect episode, but it's doing a lot of interesting things and it's setting new stuff up. And it definitely asks more questions. Like, going in, you're like, this can't be the only way we deal with witches.
Because they immediately are like, oh, we know that these are witches, which is like not usually how the show does that.
More stuff's going to come. And these are such like fucking like level 2 witches,
yes.
There's more out there. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give this one a 4 a 4.25.
Oh wow.
89's chilling in the fridge.
That's great. That's awesome. Well, that is it for this week. If you have a note about something we missed on this or past or maybe a future episode that you want to give us some information about, or you just want to say hello and talk about Supernatural with us, you can send us an email.
Ghostfacerspodcast@gmail.com.
That's right. Or we're on all of the social media platforms.
Ghostfacers Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And of course, don't forget to subscribe to us on all the platforms that you get your episodes so that it comes automatically every week. And please give us a 5-star review on all of those platforms as well. If it's on the Apple Podcast platform, then we'll get that as well as I think like the Facebook one or something. Yeah. But otherwise, send us a screenshot wherever else you do and DM it to us like on one of those platforms of social media.
Slide on in.
Yes. Of course, if you want some merch.
Ooh.
Ghostfacers Podcast Store.
Merch, baby.
Ghostfacerspodcaststore.com. that is it for this week. Make sure to subscribe to our other podcast, Dr. DC.
That's right. The award-winning Dr. DC podcast about DC Comics. If you like how we talk about lore here, just imagine how we talk about lore when it comes to superheroes.
Absolutely. Say goodbye, bitch.
Jerk.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.